Helicopter training for management. Roles and responsibilities. There are hazards which accompany working on contracts requiring helicopter access. As a crew boss, you must take on additional responsibilities to help deal with these risks. This includes doing daily emergency response planning with your crew in the morning prior to getting in the helicopter. This includes reviewing the site emergency procedures and crew boss daily forms. Pre-planning is important to ensure you have enough time for this meeting. Additional emergency planning will include bringing a survival kit, crew boss essential kit, planning ahead for weather which could prevent flying, and having a plan if spending the night or walking out is possible. Hooking up cargo slings, maintaining a 50 by 50 meter landing sites. This includes proper tarp and garbage transport, communicating clearly with the pilot, and making sure workers understand the importance of following helicopter safety protocol. Emergency planning. Your emergency plan should include bringing a survival kit and crew boss essentials kit to the block in the event the helicopter cannot pick everyone up. Planning whether or not your crew will be able to walk out or will have to spend the night. Planning for weather conditions which could prevent flying to allow time for evacuation prior to the arrival of the weather event. Always leave the survivor kit, crew boss essentials kit, and radio with the last group in case pilot chooses not to make another trip. When walking out is an option, ID the route, flag route if possible, use landmarks for reference, and leave maps. Maintain communication and include departure time and anticipated arrival time. Have a plan if the group fails to arrive as expected. The Crew Boss Essentials Kit contents are an EpiPen, Benadryl, electrolyte tablets, basic first aid supplies, an air horn, bear bangers, extra radio battery. The survival kit, Crew Boss Essentials Kit, and radio should always be left with the last group in case the pilot chooses not to fly another trip. Cargo loading. Lay the cargo net open at the predetermined pickup location. Inspect the rigging. Report any problem with the sling or net assembly to the helicopter pilot promptly. Load cargo into the middle of the sling. Keep an ongoing tab of loaded cargo's weight and do not exceed what the pilot has indicated as an acceptable weight. Attach all corners of the sling net to the lanyard on the center top of the cargo. Ensure all gates on the clips are closed. Hooking up cargo slings, long line. Follow pilot's direction. Ensure sling is ready, folded or loaded with all hooks in ready position prior to the helicopter approach. Only use hand signal when everything is ready. That would be predetermined signal with the pilot. Ensure radio contact is maintained and directions followed. Approach gear when pilot indicates and move away once gear secured and returning to pilot's field of vision. Stay low and visible. Hooking up cargo slings, the belly hook. Stand next to the sling holding the lanyard above your head. Face the helicopter and watch it closely as it approaches. Allow the hook to come to the area of your hand. Do not try to hold it far from the center of the load because the helicopter will have to come lower and closer to you to get it. If you go too far forward or back, the helicopter could come too low and either hit you or pin you to the load. Attach the lanyard to the helicopter's hook. Do not grab the hook, just slide your lanyard into the hook. Back away from the load toward the front of the machine at a 45-degree angle to the flight path. Slings will be picked up, dropped off outside of the 50 by 50 meter landing zone. Always have an escape route planned when hooking up slings. You do not want to get caught between the net and a large overturned stump. Stand back and clear. Watch the helicopter leave. As the load may be released, cargo can shift or contents can fall out. Notify the pilot of any potential problems that you see. Use radio on hand signals for communicating. Correctly roll and store nets when not in use. Slinging in the rain. When helicopters fly in the rain, the helicopter builds up an electric charge. When the helicopter touches the ground, the charge is dissipated. Slinging in the rain can result in this charge running through your body while you're attaching the load. The shock can be from small to very large. Maintaining landing sites. Conduct a site hazard assessment prior to landing in the morning and again in the afternoon. Communicate with the pilot about hazards and pickup location. Pilots generally fly into the wind. Consider this when determining location of landing site and when choosing where to wait for the helicopter at the landing site. Landing site must be at least 50 by 50 meters. Must be clear of debris and overhead branches or canopy coverage. No garbage, flagging tape, personal items, or boxes may be in the landing site unattended. If you are at the landing site waiting for pickup, you must securely hold your equipment. If you are leaving any items at the end of the day, they must be outside the 50 by 50 meter zone and secured with tie downs or sufficient logs or other heavy material. If terrain or a helipad does not permit, secure with more tie downs and logs so there is no chance the material will be blown loose. The location of the material must be communicated to the pilot. Communication. Contact pilot example. You're flying in a C-GABC. Call helicopter ABC. Helicopter, this is your name. Direct the pilot using the 12-hour clock. Always tell the pilot where you are in relation to the nose of the helicopter. Directing pilot example. The helicopter is straight in front of you. The nose pointed towards you. You are at 12 o'clock. During poor visibility, you may need to direct the helicopter. Stand with back to the wind, arms outstretched toward landing pad. High vis is preferred. Communicate with radio and use hand signals if visible. Limit radio chatter on the frequency used to talk with the pilot. Have your pilot point out a good pickup spot prior to being dropped off. Crew monitor. It is mandatory for workers to receive pre-flight safety briefing from a helicopter pilot prior to flying on each project, to sign helicopter safe operating procedures, to have completed the online training and quiz. If someone on your crew has not completed this training, notify your camp safety coordinator who can assist with training completion. Daily worker observation should include assessment of workers following helicopter safe operating procedures. Continually assess workers' level of confidence working around the helicopter. Just because you feel confident doesn't mean everyone else does too. If you notice someone rushing to load equipment into the helicopter, encourage them to relax. Rushing is more likely to cause an incident. Periodically review helicopter safety during tailgate meetings with workers to ensure they understand and are following procedure. Helicopter incidents can be dangerous. costly, and may impact daily planning. To mitigate the occurrence of incidents, it's important to be prepared and knowledgeable of safe practices for working around helicopters. It is the role of management to ensure everyone is trained, comfortable, and following the safe operating procedures on a daily basis. This will help lead to a safe and incident-free season.